Boston Symphony Hall. It's still considered to be one of the best sounding halls in the world. Its DNA is at the core of Lexicon reverbs, especially the 480. And the acoustic properties of Boston Hall had a huge influence on one of the principal designers at Lexicon, David Greisinger. So I thought it'd be a fun exercise and see if we can create a Boston Hall style preset that can give you that same impression. So we can take a boring, lifeless piano sound like this, and turn it into something beautiful sounding like this. Now, we go pretty deep in this, so I'm going to break it up into two parts. In part one, we're going to collect all the information we need about the hall itself. And then in part two, I'm going to show you how to put that all together and dial in the sound. Boston Hall is considered to be a textbook shoebox design. It has a reverb time of about 2 seconds with the audience in treatment. And what designers discovered, a shoebox shape can actually give you a balanced stereo image, or what they call apparent source width. And that's just a fancy way of saying something like a string quartet or a piano can sound big and wide anywhere in the hall. And that's primarily caused by the lateral early reflections coming off of those side walls in combination with the source coming from the stage. And the challenge is to ensure that the early reflections don't overpower the sound coming from the stage. And what they found that in the better seats, where the reflections weren't overpowering but supporting the sound from the stage, the average time of that first reflection was about 15 milliseconds. And paying close attention to the timing of that first reflection is what helps you maintain intimacy, clarity, or proximity of the original source sound, even inside a reverb that's 2 seconds long. We're starting with the Random Hall HD algorithm because this is a modernized version of the Random Hall. Relab extended the delay time, which flattens out the low frequency response, and also added some additional tonal shaping for the tail and different diffusion taps in the early reflections to make it sound like a much more modern take on the Lexicon sound. I go into setup, I turn off the 18-bit emulation, the saturation, and that gives me 32-bit internal processing for an incredibly clean and modern sounding hardware like reverb. Then, as always, I start with the size control to dial in the sound of the room. We know the longest length in that room is 38 meters, so I set it to 38 as a starting point, and I set the reverb time to roughly 2 seconds. I didn't have an impulse of Boston Hall handy, so I took the next best thing and grabbed an impulse of the Boston Hall preset in a Bricasti type plugin to give me an indication of where the early reflection taps are. So this is roughly at around 25 milliseconds. You have one about 36, 37 milliseconds, a huge one at about 46, 47 milliseconds, and then another tap here at around 63, 64. In part two, I'm going to show you how to put all that together and dial in the Boston Hall sound.